Welcome to House of Our Man. I'm your host, Los Live. And as always, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. On today's conversation, we are blessed to have with us Mayor Henry Hawkins, the first African-American mayor for the city of Century, Florida. If you don't know, that's my hometown, so I'm very excited for this opportunity to meet with you and talk with you.
Pleasure's mine.
So on a lot of our conversations, we focus on the community as well as spirituality. Our main focus is to serve and minister to the African diaspora, and that's the African people throughout the world. Many falsely start the African-American experience at the transatlantic slave trade. However, science as well as social sciences, as well as ancient texts and scriptures teach us that the origin of man was in Africa. Africans then dispersed throughout the world on every continent. Before they were settled, there were people of color already on those continents. So we want to focus on the community of Africans all over the world and how we might bring us together to better uplift our community and to improve our situation in communities all over the world. One of the main avenues that we have, and often I don't think we use the way we should or to our best ability, is in politics. I'm an advocate for local government. A lot of people right now, with especially what happened with the Electoral College, they don't feel that their vote matters.
Yes.
Right. But what's important and where your vote begins to really matter is on the local level.
Right.
Could you kind of explain what was it like for you, the whole process of running for mayor?
Well, the biggest challenge was getting people to support.
Okay.
The idea that a black man / preacher was running for politics.
Right.
So that was the biggest challenge.
Awesome. And again, we're talking a black man / preacher. So how much did your spirituality tie in to your decision to run for mayor?
100%.
100%.
Yes.
Absolutely.
God instituted government.
Say that again?
God instituted government.
God instituted government.
Yes.
I know in college with some of my classes, we definitely talked about, even in business as well as government, you can see some of, for instance, the 10 Commandments. Mm-hmm. And you see the structures there throughout business as well with the government. What was your aim when you began to run? To
do the best I could.
Okay, absolutely. And what was the platform that you were running under?
To do the best I could.
To do the best you could. So, and obviously that worked. The people had faith in you that you would do the best that you could. Absolutely, good deal. So at this point, what are the major projects and emphasis that you have for the town of Century?
Number one top priority is school.
Is the school, okay.
We've lost all of our schools.
Okay. You and I have talked a little bit about the Carver building, Middle School, and that being shut down right now.
Right.
Is there any further movement in that?
The Pensacola State College bought the middle school.
Okay.
They tore down the high school.
Okay.
And the elementary school is being used to a private school.
Okay.
For autistic children.
For autistic children.
Yes.
Okay. And what would, I know we've talked and we kind of talked about how you would want to go in the direction of a private school.
Yes.
Versus a public school.
Right.
And what would be the benefits of having a private school versus the public?
Well, with a private school, it takes the yahoos out, they shut the school down.
Okay.
I'll deal directly with the state.
Okay, so you're dealing directly with the state, and so there's no boards and things.
Well, you'll have a board and everything, but everything is reported back to the state, not through the county.
Okay. Okay, absolutely.
If the county was naive enough to close that school, then why go back to the dog that bit you the first time?
Good point. Good point. Great point.
You know, our children are bused anywhere from 9 to 18 miles one way.
Oh, wow.
To school.
Oh, wow.
First one to be picked up, last one to be dropped off.
And in this neighborhood and the children, what's the makeup, the demographics, what percentage? I think Century is about 62%
62% African American, and the children are probably about 80%.
80% African American children.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Mayor, you were saying that on average, the students are being bused how many miles?
Anywhere between 9 to 18. That's a straight shot.
9 to 18 miles.
9 to 18 miles, but that's a straight shot. But all our kids are probably riding hours on the bus before they get to school.
Oh, wow. That's a bit much. I don't know about any of you. Even for me, commuting to work, I'll even move so that I wouldn't have to commute an hour to work. So could you imagine a young mom having to commute an hour to school, and then after that commute having to then focus in and try to learn? I think that would be challenging for any of us.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, and what's the next step, or where are you at in that step?
Trying to, well, I have some partners that want to come on board. I'm trying to secure some land.
Okay.
I want to make it visible, not out of the way. I want it visible for people can see it.
Okay.
Without a school, our town won't grow.
Agreed. Education is very important.
Yes.
The young people are very important. Definitely to get them educated and having the skills that are needed to be able to help the town to grow.
But not only that, want no business coming to town without a school. Knowing that they got to drive 9 miles to 18 miles one way, that's if you take them to school.
Right.
It's between 9 to 18 miles. 9 for the high school, 12 for the elementary, and 18 for the middle school.
Right, and that's understandable. Like I was saying, I wouldn't want to commute, so I imagine a company would look at that and thinking about their employees and bringing their organization. How is that going to impact their employees and their employees' families?
And one of the things people don't realize is when a company look at an area, they'll go online, Google it, figure out what they have, and we got everything against us. No schools, no police department. Everything that we should have to be a city, to be a town, we lost. We gave it away.
Oh, wow. Wow, and I'm glad, because that's a good transitioning point. I want to talk with you a little bit about the police department and the need for the police department. I know a lot of African American organizations, we get together, right, and we talk about the same thing, having our own piece of land and even being able to police ourselves, right? The first thing a lot of the brothers say is, there's still going to be police? Yes, there's still going to be police, because some of y'all just have to be locked up. Some of y'all not going to act right. So yes, it will still be police.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So Mayor Hawkins, can you talk with us a little bit about why a city or a town, why policing and having your own police force is so important?
Well, we have the county, and the county mainly patrols Highway 29 and other areas outside of the city limits. So our crimes are done within the city, not just on Highway 29. I was told last year that they wrote 5,000 tickets in 2016, just on Highway 29, which means that they're not doing a lot of policing in the area. So there's a lot of break-ins, a lot of crime that's off the beaten path that they don't get to.
Okay.
So it's very important to have your own.
Absolutely. Do you advocate the police force and its demographics kind of mimicking the demographics of the community that they serve?
Yeah, they got to know the people, and it's a small town, so it's not hard to know. But when you break one law, when you allow one law to be broken, the park on 29, for an example, we have a sign. They told us put a sign up that says no alcoholic beverages. We put the sign up, and they watch guys sit there and drink every day.
Oh, wow.
They're not bothering anybody. But it's a vital park. It's a vital area. So if a person's coming through and wanted to stop and have a picnic or whatever, you see 4 or 5 black guys huddled with a bottle of beer, they're not going to stop.
Stop, right. Absolutely. Is it a matter of something that has to be put on a ballot, referendum, or is it a matter of structuring the budget to be able to have?
Well, we got to make a budget.
Make a budget.
Yeah, we've been robbing Peter to pay Paul for too long.
I definitely know about robbing Peter to pay Paul. All right. And so where were you at in the budgeting and getting those things there?
We just got through a an audit for 2015.
Okay.
Or 2015. It didn't look good. So I got an audit coming up the first of the year.
Okay.
So I've been in administration for over a year.
Okay.
And this audit should look a whole lot better because I believe in accountability.
Right.
Everybody know what everybody's doing and we're gonna account for what we're doing.
Okay.
So this budget shouldn't be a negative, it ought to be a positive.
Good deal. Awesome.
We're making money now
Awesome.
instead of losing money.
That's good
Yeah.
information. Congratulations.
Thank
on
you.
that. Anytime you can turn a budget around, that's probably the biggest duty of any executive is handling the budget.
Yeah, the biggest challenge we have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good luck on your audit coming up. I know managing in business, a lot is determined by that
Right.
audit and what's the
Right.
result of the
Right.
following audit.
Well, one of the things we did after looking at the previous audit, we'd already implemented some things. We went out and got some work that we could do without it coming from Pensacola and they doing the work, and we ride these same roads every day.
Okay.
Like street maintenance on Highway 29, the mowing. When we do that now, that's $22,000 a year that we gain. So that's $22,000 a year that we was letting go out of our town.
Oh,
that
wow.
We're now recouping. Limb pickup, bulk trash pickup. We was doing it for free. But it cost us right at $2,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
And that's just dumping, that's not man hours, that's not wear and tear on the vehicle or anything. We're gonna turn $30,000 off of that this year.
Awesome.
Because we're charging a minimum $6 and something a household.
Okay. Okay. And
People are complaining, but that's a necessary evil.
right. And I was just about to say that I'm sure that not everyone is happy
No.
whenever those things happen. But they're they're necessary.
Well, I'm the guy that raised all the rates.
So it doesn't make you quite popular, right?
Yeah, in a nice, nasty way.
The nice, before we transition into kind of talking more on the spirituality, is if you were to say anything to young people that were thinking about politics, or they want to help their community, don't know what to do, and or young people that have just stopped or just started into politics, what would be your advice for them?
Do what's right, not what's popular.
Because right now our leader seems to do what's popular and not necessarily what's
Yeah,
right.
and it's killing us.
Absolutely.
We beating a dead horse to death.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at what President Obama fought to get for 8 years, now all that's about to go.
Yes.
And it's because of popularity instead of what's right.
And it's amazing what's popular right now.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
popular?
stupid's always popular.
Stupid is always popular. People tend to make you want to believe that. Can you talk to us a little bit about your church? Is your church here in Century?
It's in Flumerton.
It's in Flumerton?
Yes.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, Century is about a mile from Flumerton, right? So coming into Century, if you're coming from south, heading north, we were talking about 29, there's a sign that says Century 20 miles, Flumerton 21 miles.
Right.
And that sign, it kills me every time I see it. I crack up laughing. Yeah. Okay, so it's in Flumerton. Flumerton and Century's always been kind of almost tied.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, and the name of the church?
Damascus Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay, and how long have you been pastor there?
15 years.
15 years,
Yes.
Wow. And the size of the congregation?
50 good members.
Okay. How many on the roll? You said 50 good members. How many on
It's
the
probably 100 on the road.
100 on the roll.
Yeah.
Okay. And as a spiritual leader, how are you handling the atmosphere right now that our people are dealing with?
Well, we got to be educated about what's going on, and the bottom line is, if the church ever just stepped back and looked, it's all the church's fault. We've been too busy fighting the fight that the devil's putting before us, fighting denominationalism and all this kind of stuff, when the body of Christ should be together.
Absolutely.
So it's our fault.
Okay. I tend to agree a lot of times that we want to step back and kind of take a reflective look at ourselves to see what part we're playing in the overall scheme of what's happening, right? It's easy to just say the young people are lost or the young people are just gone versus what can we do to attract more.
Right. Well, one of the things that my generation is doing with our children, our grandchildren, is we're trying to give them the things that we never had. And I tell folks, if you face reality, computers didn't come around till I was grown.
Right.
Cell phones didn't come around till I was grown. It's okay to give them what we didn't have, but we need to teach them what we knew.
Right.
Our folks did a good job with us.
Absolutely.
You know, they did teach us how to go out and make an honest dollar, how to think for yourself and all that, and we're not letting our children do that. So what's on Facebook is what's controlling them.
Right. All right. And I definitely use Facebook to promote House of Our Man because I know
Right.
that that's gonna get me an opportunity or exposure to really a broad crowd, but definitely young people that maybe wouldn't listen to me if I walked up to them now.
Right. It's not all bad. We just got to take it for the good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, people talking about airing their dirty laundry on Facebook. Well, it never get aired if we don't tell it.
It's just having a conversation
Yeah.
with someone about things of that nature. Sometimes we keep stuff in-house too much, right? Some things need to be aired out so they can be resolved.
But then there's some things that aired out and it's aired out to the wrong people.
The wrong people.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I got a disagreement with somebody, going on Facebook is the last place I need to go.
Agree. Absolutely.
Go to that person.
Absolutely. Agree.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay.
But most of the young kids talk about this person, that person, call them everything but, and then wonder why they don't like them.
What right now are you seeing an influx of young people? What's the conversation among the young people, for instance, in your congregation?
Well, they talk about some of everything.
Okay.
But what Tupac and Biggie Small and all them folks said is still ringing true in the ears. You know, versus we need to learn how to love one another, how to get along peacefully.
Right.
That's kind of out the window.
Right.
And 45 ain't helping nothing.
No, not at all. Not at all. At this point, if you were to say three things, right, that the body of Christ could do, especially, and I want to make it clear for House of Our Man, we focus a lot on the African American community because of the disparity between how resources are provided for the African American community, as well as, for instance, you know, in the word it says our people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Right.
We often don't have the knowledge on how to obtain those resources or how to keep them. Right? People say they want reparations, but right now, if we got reparations, I don't think we would keep any of it.
No, we wouldn't.
So,
we wouldn't.
So if you were to give three things that the body should do, what would it be?
First thing is pray together.
Pray together,
Secondly, work together.
work together,
Thirdly, learn how to live together.
learn how to live together.
Yeah.
That third one is tough.
Yeah.
What would you say is the key to that?
Love,
Love.
God's way. Not love man's way, because love man's way, as long as you're doing something for me, I'm good. The minute you stop, we through.
Right.
God's way, you love in spite of.
Absolutely. And for me, love is one of the biggest changes that I've made in my life, right? I think a lot of times I wanted to love people the way I wanted to love them, right? Not necessarily the way they wanted to be loved, but I wanted to give just what I wanted to give or how I wanted to give. But one of the things that I've found out is that if you take the time out to figure out what motivates other people, right? What is love to them, right? And what from you, what would love look like, right? For what love would look like, if I was to demonstrate love to you, that may look different than if someone else were to demonstrate. So you have to know how or what would make Mayor Hawkins say, you know, that young brother really has some love for me, right? Or what would make Loslav say, well, I tell you what, you agreeing to do my show definitely make me feel like, okay, the mayor has some love for me, right?
Right.
But it's kind of figuring out those things. How do we as men show each other
Well,
love?
we got to be true. First of all, we got to be true to ourselves,
Right.
and then we be true to everybody else.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of folks that are faking amongst themselves, so they're faking it with everybody else.
Right.
If I got to sneak up on a mirror, then there's something wrong.
Good point. Good point. Well, it's always a pleasure. I know if you're not following the mayor on social media, I encourage you to. What are some of the best ways they can contact or follow?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Henry Hawkins. I have Yahoo, Henry J. Hawkins at yahoo.com.
Okay.
And I'm doing a show tomorrow night, Our Voices,
I think
with
I've
Jerry
seen,
McIntyre.
I've seen some of that online.
Right.
Yes, I've
Yeah, I'm
seen
doing that tomorrow night. It's same concept as yours. It's on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good deal. Again, we appreciate
Thank you.
everything you did.
Appreciate it.
Helping out and just giving a young brother a chance.
Thank you.